This is 95.7 WELT, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Coming live from the IPFW
Station.
Coming from the main library in Fort Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
Where they encourage everybody to come here.
Fire.
To read a book. 95.7. Holler at me. We also have NBC players.
Oh, not yet. We know how we do it. Track. We do a track first.
We don't want to listen to that track.
Yeah, we do.
No one does.
Did I not tell you guys this?
No one wants to listen to that song.
Shout out to Raucous. Adam hates your music. Straight fire beats. Adam, put your headphones on so you can hear me talking smack. Welcome to the boiler room. Ted, how you doing over there? You're not on yet, Ted. I'm almost doing it just to make Adam mad at this point. All right, wait, how you doing, Ted?
I'm doing well.
Doing good? That's good.
Why do you not have mine on?
Hey, you're on, Adam. You're good. You're live. All right, you're good. All right. Introduce everybody. Let's go. Let's do the rounds.
All right, we have Dwan Porter.
Porter, fool.
No, Potter.
Porter.
Like potty pants.
Shout out Thomas.
We got Ted. I can never pronounce your last name.
All you have to do is try.
Ted's very easy.
Super Dunk.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, we got Donovan Klein, Ian Hoover.
So these
from NBC, and these are my friends.
So these are your two
and
guests.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
Absolutely.
So
Why wouldn't we?
So how do we? So you guys want to introduce yourselves? Don't do nothing yet. I'm bad at this. All right. You want to introduce yourselves?
You are bad at a lot of things.
Like getting here on time. Ooh.
Oh yeah, shots fired.
Too
bad you didn't have like the. Yeah, that took
crowd goes wild for my joke. So what's up, fellas? You guys are pretty quiet over there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess thanks for having us. We're not really used to this whole radio thing. Not yet.
You guys are on TV.
Not yet, anyway.
We're not on TV.
So so what do you guys do?
We're not on TV.
Okay, tell me your names again, because I'm bad at names.
Go for it, man.
I'm Donovan Klein.
Donovan. That sounds like such a newscaster name. Donovan Klein.
I'm Ian Hoover.
What?
I'm the content manager for ABC 21 and Fort Wayne's NBC here.
Really?
Yeah.
Content manager.
Yeah. I don't think it's not something you lie about.
So anything that's like live, you it's your decision first, right?
Nah, not necessarily my decision. Just managerial oversight over a lot of the local content.
So you could fire this guy if you wanted to.
No, but I did hire him.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's a fun fact right there.
Okay, so what do you do?
Well, I'll say my name.
Yeah.
My name is actually Donovan Klein.
Oh yeah. Is it? All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I also work at the station. I'm on the Fort Wayne's NBC side though. I'm the executive producer there. So pretty much, just taking the forward on the content on that side and the organization, you could say.
All right, I want to get right to it. Like,
Here we go.
what should we not talk about?
So can this risk you guys?
No, I'm not. I'm not asking you.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
okay. Whoa.
Like,
Hey,
you're
I-
out of this conversation,
I'm out of
bro.
this conversation.
What should we not talk about?
Well, I mean, we can't really say our personal opinions on stuff since we already said
Is that mic even on?
where we're working for. Can you
It
hear?
is. It is.
You're like-
This
no,
mic
chill.
is terrible.
It's bad, ain't it?
That's not bad. You just gotta you gotta talk closer.
Ted, how does it sound? Like
Should I just hold
His
it like
mic?
this?
Yes.
Alrighty, then I can lean back.
Okay. Cool.
Am I
So-
close enough?
So
You
we
sound
Oh,
good.
you
don't
sound.
Am I good?
yeah, he's got to
Yeah.
sound like that. All right,
don't ask us about
it's not
our personal feelings about certain things.
So you guys
Since
got-
we already said
Okay.
where
I
we
mean,
Okay.
yeah, you can about movies, but not like.
Yeah,
So
but
what-
yeah,
what-
yeah.
what's-
nothing
events.
news-wise. We can't go into like politics as far as like
hate
our
politics.
personal stance.
Hello,
So you
Christian
pretty much
Peters.
just told Adam what he's going to talk about.
Yeah.
So what is the most like local incident in Fort Wayne that has fascinated the both of you?
What's the craziest stuff that's ever
The
happened?
craziest stuff.
The craziest thing we've covered since we've been here, or just in general.
No, this year.
This year, April Tinsley by far.
Absolutely.
What's
April
that
Tinsley.
case?
Who's that?
It's a 30-year-old cold case that was solved in July.
Oh,
They arrested a guy
yeah.
up in DeKalb County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in
What?
the Grable
Or
area.
And
Great
what happened?
area.
Can you let the viewers know what the heck we're talking
There's
about?
also listeners, Adam, not just viewers.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. See,
Listeners and
these guys are professionals. They're more professional than we are.
You have to know.
I
your
don't want.
audience.
I don't want this to be a competition between us.
It is.
I want this to be content for everybody to listen to.
Oh yeah.
So we're talking about Tinsley.
We're talking April Tinsley.
Okay,
Tinsley.
check it out. For a person like me, I don't watch the news at all.
I don't
Like,
know about
zero.
it.
You should
You don't know,
change
you don't know about it?
I don't like the news.
I don't.
Can they show that on air?
That's public access right there. I'd say.
What?
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
taking
you had
my
your
clothes
shirt
off?
off and everything.
We should take
That's
all our
kinda
clothes
weird.
off.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how we
can
get
we-
viewers.
Can we?
Yeah.
That's the second hour.
And
right?
listeners.
That's after
Hello,
dark.
mother. How's it
And
going?
now I know.
I got a
that's,
body for radio.
These cameras are for. Jeez.
Shout out Pete Dio. Ted.
So
turned
what
to
happened on
13-year-old
April?
boy.
What happened on April?
Yeah, he did.
April was
definitely did.
murdered 30 years ago this year.
Yeah,
in
there's
Fort Wayne.
was like about a month or so before they had the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Of it.
So she was abducted and killed, and it was a cold case for 30 years.
30
and
years,
30 years.
Yeah, and in between, like her mother we'd do stories on her mother, just updating.
Okay, thanks,
30
Kristen.
years.
We're babies.
It's probably one of the biggest stories in Fort Wayne, definitely in our lifetime.
Yeah.
How many stories get solved as far as like
Like cold cases.
I don't
I don't
know
know
the stats on
I don't know what
that.
that even means. Like
Good
I'm
question.
so
man.
dumb.
I'm gonna ask what you.
I'm
You don't
talking
know
about
about-
like gun, like people get shot or robbed. Like, is there any like? I don't watch news because I don't ever see like a conclusion. So I don't watch
Well,
it.
sometimes there's not a conclusion. I'd say probably for the majority of the homicides this year in Fort Wayne
Yeah.
probably they haven't been solved.
Okay, so it's all just local news you guys deal with, right?
Well, we air national news, but a lot of that's like, just an aggregate of feeds
Yeah.
that we're bringing
I
in.
see a CNN thing on your little phone thing, so
Yeah.
that's what makes me think of like international news. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, if it ties in here, then we're on it one way or the other.
I mean,
Is there a certain type of story that you would say excites you more?
Let me guess. Like,
it would probably sound. I would just say like in general, breaking. We call it spot news. So a huge part of my job is I listen to things on the scanners, and when something's going on, I send our people out there.
so just an old school cop
Yeah.
scanner.
Yeah.
Okay, so those things are still around. All right.
Yeah.
So they say the location, and you just go right to
Yeah.
it.
They'll say
the
location.
a code.
Yep.
We've memorized and.
So going to the whole other side, is there a type of story that you think is annoying to cover?
Farm stories.
Farm stories, yeah.
I'm not
Like-
a big farm. I mean, I know there's so many farmers, but I was so bored by farm
like
stories.
cutesy stuff. You don't like cutesy kids.
No,
stuff?
like cutesy kid stuff. I understand the appeal, but like for a bushel of soybeans, I don't care how much that costs.
Like you're talking about like the mazes.
The mazes are fine too. Those are
Like,
fun.
The
They're just
maze
like
is hella hard
like
this year.
like the stories that are like, how's the crop this year?
Yeah,
It's like I feel like the farmer already knows before I do.
Like the
anyways.
farm report.
The
Farm report.
city guy in Fort Wayne.
So were you ever the guy out there with the microphone, like interviewing people? Like, how'd you get to
No.
your spot? Like, how'd you get the manager?
I started part time at the station like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to school for political science and just randomly got a job in TV
Okay.
and just kind of worked my way.
So you never done public access channel? Then
I never.
this,
No, I
then
didn't.
that, then
No,
that.
that's going to be the next phase of my career.
That's
Oh, yeah,
that's
public
the notch.
access.
That's the notch on the belt.
That's where you're
today.
doing like conspiracy stories of like Bigfoot
Yeah,
and all that.
yeah, it's gonna
in
be
Fort Wayne.
the next
sewers.
Art Bell.
Is there any type of stories that like, man,
Where's the
I don't really
business?
want to even cover this?
Yeah, I would say the thing that's really hard to cover are like, I mean, this happened back this last school year, are the school threats.
Yeah.
Oh, like
because,
bomb threats.
Because you know, I would say 80 to 90% of them never amount to anything, and they're able. It's just, you know, some kid just trying to
Get attention.
trying
or
to trying
get
to trying
a
to
day off
cause some
school.
trouble.
No,
They don't
no,
mean
because
anything, but
it sucks because
but
it's such an important situation.
yeah, you have to handle
But
it.
at the same time, when there's so many, it's overly saturated that doesn't really make
Well, yeah,
sense.
you don't want to desensitize people.
Exactly.
And, I mean, we're probably getting like 1 or 2 every day. there for a
Really?
while.
Oh,
Yeah,
in
where
in
we're
Fort Wayne or in Indiana.
just in our like viewing area.
So-
or, like,
so what are the
Columbia
warnings
City.
for?
I
They're
mean,
We got
they're
a bomb
usually
here,
like
or like somebody's got a
bomb
gun or
threats
something like
some
that.
some
Yeah.
kid sends some stupid text message and everybody shares it.
I had a friend who's gotten fired texting. I think he tweeted something out at his job. Was like, I want to blow everybody up here. And next thing you know, SWAT showing up at his
Ah,
at work and all that, and he got fired for it. But yeah,
Yeah, it's probably for good reason.
yeah. You know what I mean. But
It's cra-
kids though, kids are on a whole
It's crazy.
level.
That's why Dwan doesn't have his GED.
GED. Got a diploma. That's why.
Yeah,
Better than
a
GED.
GED is a diploma.
GED is like a sidekick diploma.
It was
Adam,
I don't know. If
Don't
that,
try- don't
I
try
don't
to
know. If
cl-
that,
don't try to clown me on my educational skills.
And an IED is a roadside bomb, which you don't want to call in that threat to
The
a
heck
school.
is that?
No, because we might get checked right now.
Yeah, you don't want to call that.
Yeah, we're in like a very secure area.
So what's
area.
the favorite?
like government.
Well, I always thought this place was a library, not a radio
Yeah.
station.
That's what everybody says. They do not
it
know.
looks an awful
thought it
lot
was
like
just-
a library to me.
Yeah.
So this question is for the both of you. What is the favorite part of your job?
Favorite part of my job.
Is there hot reporters there? My girlfriend's listening. I didn't mean that.
There's some
Ted
very,
wanted me to ask
very
him. So,
professional,
yeah.
professional
Thanks, man.
reporters there.
Yeah.
Favorite part of the job? I don't know.
I would say
What
I would say honestly,
what's the part that excites you the most?
I would say, like, for me
House
personally,
fires.
I was never one of those people that could like sing or paint, or I can't, I'm not musically inclined. So when you have a
I get it wrong. I'm sorry, Thomas.
Thomas,
Shout out Thomas.
so it's like when you come in each day, it's
It's a
something.
joke, and it had to be accurate.
It's something completely new, and it's like you get to present it to so many people each day. So I feel like there's an art form
Yeah.
to what we do each day.
See, you got to convince me as like a. What would you put me underneath? I'm like so oblivious to news. Like my boss gets angry
do
at me.
A
do
radio
a
host is what I'd put you.
Radio roast?
No, a host.
Oh,
You're a
nah,
host.
Not really, but I mean, as far as somebody who doesn't watch the news, you guys are in it. Like he's like, you need to watch the news. I'm like, why? I don't know. I'm not gonna do nothing about it.
There's a girl killed 30 years ago, and you didn't know about it.
I had not a clue.
Yeah.
I had not a clue.
A huge story.
Yeah, huge
But-
story.
I just like,
And somebody called you out on your feed about it too.
did they?
Yeah.
Or was I in there somewhere? Oh,
Yeah, it was like one of the first.
Kristen's. That's cool.
Where's the justice?
Where's the justice?
Shout out Kristen Teeters. She throws good house parties too.
So as far as
Oh,
like
cool.
news stories and such, is there something like you want people to know about the media that you think is wrong?
Yeah. Convince,
I mean,
convince a
I would say
non-media
that-
person.
I don't want to jeopardize your
Fake
guys'
No,
the
I don't think
the
anything.
jobs.
Anything I'd say is fake. I don't think anything we do is malicious in any way. I think sometimes we can come across as callous or
Just
cold.
like so stiff. Like
yeah.
8 people were murdered in this
Well,
library.
yeah, well,
whoa, what's
so
going
a
on?
large part of what I do for a living is I find people on Facebook that have just gone through some like recent tragedy.
Yeah, that's
and-
probably why I don't like it. It's so sad all the time.
And
I'm
I
like,
I message those people and I'm like, hey, like we're here. Like if we
Right,
if you want
right.
to talk to us on camera, we'll talk to you. And
Right.
that's kind of an almost, you could see it as an insensitive thing to do. Like somebody's gone through this horrific thing, and then
Yeah,
you're
dude.
like, hey, talk to me.
Yeah.
I see
As long
it-
as you're not aggressive with it. Like I see
Well,
some people
yeah.
chasing somebody around like they just lost.
I feel like at the same time though, the bad news makes
It does.
better headlines.
Well, also, like,
does.
when people are having the worst time in their life, that's the time that they also need to know that they have access to an outlet or a voice to voice what they're thinking. You know, a lot of the times if they don't speak or a victim's family doesn't speak, it's just a police narrative. I'm
Right.
really trying to give them the opportunity to have a voice, and a lot of times these stories will spark a public debate. I want the families to have that voice. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I
we're a
think a
voice
lot
for
of
the people.
I think a lot of times people see something but they don't want to say nothing.
No,
Especially
yeah,
on
we run
camera.
into that a lot.
Like at least from what I've noticed, like on the south side, if somebody will get shot. Tons of people around. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody. Broad daylight. Just last week, somebody got shot by my work. I think it was Monday.
Her house.
Yeah, I seen that too.
But
But
what was that on Monday?
yeah, where were you at Monday?
No. Like, I'm trying to remember what happened on Monday.
Oh, he said,
remember.
"Where's Adam?" On
Yeah,
Monday?
no. Where's your work at?
Over by the Harvester place and
Okay.
like
Wayne Trace, right?
Wayne Trace. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, off Anthony Street.
Yeah.
Somebody got shot over there, and like I don't know. Did it get solved? I don't know. That's not really your guys' job. You're not police
we
officers.
don't-
Has
Yeah.
there ever been an
Solve things.
instance where something has made a connection or been solved or resolved based on what you've done? You
Okay,
doing your job?
Absolutely.
done.
I would say that a lot of times we do stories on things that get taken from a lot of places. Case in point, there's that bike that was taken
Oh my
from
gosh.
Pedal City,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
and lo and behold, do a story on it next day.
You guys do that story? You guys do
Because
that?
they realized,
Did
like,
we
man,
do that story? I don't even remember. I don't remember if we
They
did.
they
it.
realized
I
that
think we did
the
that
bike
story.
wasn't like the best thing to steal.
Yeah, it's so noticeable. It's like
Yeah.
the little red one, right?
Yeah.
The little red one.
Yeah, that
It's like,
too.
who has that bike?
I would
Nobody.
say if there's
it
anything
doesn't
at a
drive
bar-
very well neither.
Was it a drunk guy just kind of taking it
We're
for
doing
a
you
spin?
a
I
favor.
don't know. It was on Tour de Force. Yeah.
Really? Some guy just cruising it around
Yeah.
like, it's my bike. I didn't steal it.
So the passion behind news.
Did he get in trouble for that?
What's your favorite part about it?
Favorite. Wait, I thought.
I think you already-
I just told
Did we
you.
answer that?
yeah, you already asked him that question.
Well, I'll tell you my second favorite part about news.
Yeah. Two-hearted.
Two-hearted. I'm just glad that you offered us free beer to come on the show for like a
Hey,
year.
wait.
Is that what you?
Wait,
offered?
man, hold on.
That's what I
Is
took.
that-
I
is
mean,
that on the record?
the first time they flaked on
I mean,
us.
you're the mayor of Pedal City or whatever.
Yeah, the mayor.
No, hopefully not. I'm being dethroned.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm done.
you quitting?
No, I'm not quitting.
You selling it?
It's over.
It's on Zillow. That's a good plug, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's on
Zillow.
Zillow?
If you want to buy Pedal
I'm
City,
trying to buy a house. Can I live
it
there?
is on
Can I make it into a house?
Zillow.com.
We could start a GoFundMe, and we could all.
You
buy
could do it. GoFundMe is.
All 9 of us right now.
There's 9 people here.
In the stream?
Yeah,
No.
totally.
Wait, is there 9 people in the stream?
I don't know.
Is there 4 or 5? Is it more than
We got 9.
We have
mine,
9
Mine reads
people.
9.
or popping?
Is there anything you don't like about your job?
I would
mean, there's
say-
a lot of things.
I would
don't
say
like
just
about it.
having to see
Craziness.
the tragedy and the details of it every single day.
Is there almost like some PTSD
Isn't it
news guy?
It's hard. It's hard. Like you sort of get used to it, and you sort of get desensitized
Yeah.
to it.
You see
but
like dead bodies ever?
on video.
Their blood?
On video, yeah.
But isn't it weird that
There's
all
the
the
occasion.
all the negative news gets
Yeah,
way
you're right.
more traction than the positive?
No, I mean, there's some real positive stories.
there's been some really great
Yeah.
positive stories that have gotten a lot more
Like
traction.
do a dog story.
Zach says nice
Hmm.
shirts, bro. You know Zach.
Do a dog
Zach,
story.
yeah.
Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody loves.
I'll
dogs.
tell you things. Zach
Zach
Herbert.
works with us at the station.
Let's hear something about Zach Herbert.
Shout him out.
Oh no!
Spill it. Spill it.
Holy.
Oh, wow.
jeez.
That's super loud.
Sorry, guys.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Uh,
Spills news.
One thing
everywhere.
about Zach is his facial expression. He's just walked out of a time machine, and
Oh,
he doesn't know where or when he is.
yeah.
Should
It
you-
almost would make him sound like he looks clueless, but that'd
That'd just be-
a little mean.
We wouldn't say that.
But
We're
he's
nice
actually
guys.
one of the nicest people in the world.
You guys
though.
work with him too?
Well,
Yeah.
You gotta
work around him.
Yeah.
You gotta be nice when you don't know what's going on.
Right.
You need help from everyone.
So cute and innocent.
Are you guys from Fort Wayne area?
I'm from the Huntington area, actually.
I'm
but-
actually from the Columbia City, South Whitley
So
area.
generally,
Yeah, around the region, you
Right
could
on.
say.
Yeah. I've been in, I think in Fort Wayne.
Oh, you guys from around
8
Fort
years
Wayne?
now?
Yep.
All of you?
All of you?
I'm pretty sure I was born at that hospital. I think I was. So I'm not too far from home base.
Do you remember anything from that?
No, not at all. I've heard.
How is your level of care at that hospital?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it
that
bad?
could be. I don't know.
Is it a rough hospital?
I'm asking you.
You guys know more about what's going on in the world than I do. So is that they got bad ratings? How's their Yelp? Pretty bad.
RateMyDoctor.com.
Yeah.
Solid.
There should be something out there
Well,
like that.
Let me ask you guys something. You're talking about, what sort of stuff we're drawn to in news. What sort of stuff would you guys respond to the most?
Something funny.
Something funny?
It's got to be something just kind of like gives me a little chuckle. I don't
Something
know.
lighthearted.
Did you
maybe?
see
Something
the,
lighthearted,
the
something
NBA
lighthearted.
NBA 2K thing that happened?
No, what
Yeah,
happened?
you
Is it
see
funny?
Oh man.
The video game?
This is
I
great.
don't care about that.
I do
at
care
all
about that.
because
Yeah, what is it's interesting
because
to me
the
right
Mad
now.
Ants. I mean, honestly,
What it,
all the
oh, the
Mad
Mad
Ants
Ants jersey
have-
is in that game?
No, well, they have this like career mode.
Yeah,
right?
the guy is wearing a Mad Ants jersey.
Well,
Yeah,
they-
he's
they
talking
base it-
trash
they
about
base it about
Fort
Fort
Wayne.
Wayne.
Oh, is he really?
He said something
it's
like,
mean.
"There's, you know, we can go down to Indianapolis. This isn't like Indianapolis.
Really?
We don't have schools or malls or anything like that here. We have a lot of Amish."
He says
What
that
is
in the game?
That's-
Yeah,
yeah.
it says that in the game.
I work
He thinks-
around Amish too.
He thinks that
mean,
the
they're
only
here,
thing
man.
we're
They are very
there are
strange.
Amish here, but there's more than
Ironically
just Amish here.
enough,
Yeah, I do work around Amish. It's crazy. I went to the Amish guy's house
I don't see
today.
any Amish people in the studio.
No. That's dope.
so you want me to answer the question now?
Yeah, why don't you answer the question?
Oh,
Alright,
wait,
then,
what was the
ask
question?
it formally.
What was the question? I forgot.
Adam, what are you the most drawn to news-wise?
I
What
already
catches
answered
your
it.
eye on the feed? You're scrolling through Facebook. You're maybe watching TV
Locally,
locally.
Shout out
Yeah,
Beverly.
preferably locally.
Wendy, shout out.
I would say
Skateboarding.
negativity.
Me and him are opposites on everything.
I mean, I would say that all the stuff that's going wrong in the community is the stuff that would draw my attention to the situation.
You
I always
it all comes down to basically you want to know what's happening,
Yeah.
one way or the other.
Always give somebody the benefit of the doubt. There's always some like,
I don't
this
want to
man
give a lot.
touched a lady's leg. I'm like, nah, he probably didn't. She probably bumped his leg. And I'm like, I always spin the story in my own head around where I'm like, nah, that probably didn't happen. Somebody's lying here. Probably the girl.
I think we spent about 9 hours on that very subject today.
Oh, so, what's that case that's going on right now?
Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh.
I didn't know what was going on with that. I do a lot of VR stuff, so I put my little headset on, hanging out with some people, and they're
He
watching.
hangs out with virtual reality
virtual
people,
people. Yeah,
so
I
don't let him blend that in the conversation like it's
me doing
normal.
that-
Like he said,
That's not the
pause,
real world.
pause. This is my turn.
All right, let me pause the music
You
for
know,
you.
he said, I was just hanging out with a few people. Like I was on virtual reality. I was just hanging out with a few people.
I really was. And they were watching the
he
news.
was hanging out with virtual reality people.
I really was. I was
But
watching.
they're still real people.
Yeah, they're real people. They're watching the news. I was like, what is this? What is this? What is this case about? I couldn't even read the name of it so long. I was like, who's this Kalafalov guy? Who is this dude?
Kalafalov.
So
Whatever.
Are the virtual reality people from Fort Wayne?
I don't know where they're from. They're from all
I
over the
really
place.
hope
So
they're not
how
from
could-
Fort Wayne, because that'd be weird.
No, they're not.
So how could they have an
Virtual
opinion
local.
then?
The guy was really into the news, and I was like, he's into it. Like, what is this? This is some world news CNN stuff, and it's a big story about somebody touching some girl, doing something with some lady, and I was like, that probably didn't happen. I don't know nothing about the story. Just throwing my own 2 cents out there and saying it probably
Snap
didn't
judgment.
happen. Yes, there you go.
Snap judgment.
Snap. I was like, it probably didn't happen. She's probably lying. Who is this girl? She got something to sell. What's her angle? You know what I mean? That's just me.
I don't know. I'm super into the news. I'm super into even weather.
Weather?
Weather.
I think a lot of people are into weather. It
My
affects
phone tells me
everybody,
weather.
man.
Yeah,
Usually,
it's bigger than us, man.
what tweaks my interest is like if there's something that relates to me that you don't normally hear on the news, like something about a subculture or an event
Okay.
going on.
I feel like they're gonna judge
Yeah.
it wrong. I'm such a like they're not gonna say that's not true.
You
We
should
don't do-
worry about it like all the rain that's gonna get in your dreads.
I don't care.
You know.
I used to watch the news when I didn't have a car, and I had to worry about what the weather was.
How
If I
many
was
cars?
riding a bike,
How many cars you got now?
a few.
5, 4,
Made it
5.
come up. Made it come
Four
up.
or
I'm trying to
five.
sell one of them. You want to buy one?
I will.
You guys want to buy a Civic?
It's
Honda
like
Civic?
$5
A
bucks.
Honda Civic.
Yeah.
If it's like 500, I'll buy
Pass.
one. Yeah.
2500.
2,500.
2500. Never driven
You're
it.
such a
Never
liar.
touched the street ever. Never driven
Is
it.
it turbocharged?
Because it doesn't
Nah.
start.
It starts.
Okay.
It just is a private
Did
car
Austin
that I'm
sell
never
it
gonna
to you?
finish. Nah. Just one of those things. It doesn't
I know
matter.
it'd have a weird engine if you sold it to
It
you.
has a great engine in it.
Yeah.
That's worth a $2,500 car.
What kind of engine's in it?
B18C1.
I have one of them.
Take
Oh,
it.
yeah? What kind of cars you guys got? Anything nice? You guys
a-
make good money doing this job? You guys
Oh,
make-
just rolling in it.
oh yeah?
Wow,
you
don't
guys,
a-
you guys own
don't
house?
a- don't
you guys
ask
own
that-
houses?
That's something you don't ask.
I
on.
know, whatever. What am I asking them? So you guys doing pretty good? Like,
Okay.
can you guys retire off this job? Is this a retirement job?
What do you not like about your job?
You already
didn't
asked him that.
Twice.
Well,
No, I didn't.
Donovan gave
I
like
said,
a
"What do you
pretty
most like
political
about your
answer.
job?" And I said, "What do you not like about your job?"
The thing
And then
I
you said
the
it
thing I
again.
don't like the most about the
You can't-
job.
Okay, what do you think about Anchorman? Was that a very accurate reputation of
It always
news
comes
feed?
up.
I wasn't alive in the '70s. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Things could have been
play
totally
around with me.
different.
I mean, yeah.
So
Maybe
They
that's
never,
how it was
They
back
never
then.
answered that question.
But I watched the old school skateboard movie. I was like, that's dope. That's pretty accurate about skateboarders, like how they act,
I
move.
don't
Is there
I don't
rivalries?
think Anchorman's supposed to be like a period piece, though.
But still, though, is there like rivalries between newscasters?
Oh yeah,
like
oh yeah.
you guys bump each other like, "Yo, what's up, man? Hey, you guys stole my story on Main Street. You know what I'm
mean,
saying? What's up?"
It can range from friendly to
Your editing sucks.
competitive.
You said the law enforcement.
that a real thing,
doesn't
though?
Really like you guys being around.
Sometimes it depends on the person.
Really, the
Yeah,
situation.
it's just like anything. I'm not,
So if you want to shout out a radio, not radio, newscaster station that you don't like, shout them out. Shout out Jordan Dean, Thomas Zico.
Yeah, we should.
We
Yeah.
never do that.
Hey,
I'm so curious. That's
there's
kind of like
a-
that's kind of
Hey,
funny
what,
to me. So
yeah,
that's why I'm
yeah. What
interested.
news radio
there's
station are you
a
not
there's
feeling?
a Sri Lankan news station I've been
Fort
in
Wayne?
a feud with.
Sri
Fort Wayne?
Lankan,
Sri,
you mean
from Sri Lanka.
Sri Lankan?
In Fort Wayne.
Yeah, well, yeah.
How big are they?
They don't exist. I
don't know.
Sri
I just made it
Lankan.
up.
Whatever you say, I'm gonna believe. So just don't.
Sri
know.
Lankans like south.
That's
of
why we have the
Thailand.
title.
I didn't know if there was like a really small station
Fake
where there's like
news.
3 people that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
mean, there is, but
is there a Hispanic radio? Or not radio? I keep saying.
There is.
Is there?
Not a
That's
TV
the one I
station.
walked in.
Not a news
not a
one.
TV.
No,
Right by
TV
Get
station,
Wet.
yeah, not
Next,
TV.
right next to old.
You said radio. There's a radio.
Fort Wayne
one,
has
you said.
not adopted
Yes.
Telemundo yet,
No, there isn't a.
unfortunately.
Maybe that. I don't know.
So work's cool and all, but what are you into aside from work? You said you had a car with the B18 in it.
Heck
No,
yeah.
I have a Fiat 500.
That's cool. A Barth? Wait, no, that's not a Barth. That's
Nah, I
the
don't
that's the
know.
bigger one, right? 500. Which one?
The 500 is a tiny little guy.
That's the 2-door one, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Have you ever driven the Barth?
No.
Fiat Barth?
No.
Nice.
No.
Very nice.
So not so much into cars. What's your thing? What do you do?
I used to work
Uh,
at.
Oh, I go out.
Dodge.
I go out to places in Fort Wayne. That's what I do.
Are you a party
You
guy?
go out and party?
I don't party per se.
He's on the record.
I responsibly enjoy a night out.
what do you think?
Absolutely.
Hey, never mind.
Where do you
Absolutely.
go? Where's your place?
Strip
The
clubs?
Ruin,
Okay,
uh,
we're each gonna guess one, and you say who's the
Oh, yeah, let me
closest.
guess one.
Time
Junk
out.
Ditch,
Flashback.
O'Sullivan's. I don't go to flashbacks.
I'm gonna say Corner
anymore.
Pocket.
Corner
I don't
Pocket.
go. I don't go to corner.
I haven't been to
Pocket.
Corner Pocket.
Where do they go?
I don't know.
I don't think Adam
They're
would have
covering
any
up or
idea.
something. Are you guys' girlfriends listening? Like, I don't know.
No.
You guys don't have hobbies other than going out to the party, or
You guys gotta do something.
I like TV shows.
I love.
You guys got kids?
I don't know,
I
I'm
love
not very-
playing
You guys are
golf.
locked?
no, no.
Married?
You
You
guys
guys
ever play
married?
golf?
No, no. I'm
You guys
Golf.
like you're locked down. Golf?
You
You know-
golfer? Any of you?
golfer.
I'm not, but I've been interested in trying.
I thought
lately.
you guys were into boxing.
Boxing?
No.
Where I don't know where you get that idea.
I mean, I thought like the whole like Rumble thing was in your repertoire.
Who told you that?
Were you
I
guys-
don't know. I just saw.
were you guys in a fight
firsthand.
recently?
I saw it first.
You might have to fill in the dots on that.
I just saw like a little bit of
Too many subliminals.
aggression.
Too many subliminals.
Oh, there's no subliminals. What's going
Was
on?
there a fight going on?
I have no idea what you're talking about there, Radam.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Radam.
Yeah, I
Radam.
told you I was going to
Radam?
ask you on the
It's a
air.
cool name, Radam.
Uh,
DJ Radam in the house.
what? I don't know. I'm not very interesting outside the news. That's all I talk about, I guess.
You guys travel? Where do you travel?
I'm such a
I know this
homebody.
guy travels
Me and him are the
all the
complete
time.
opposite. He goes everywhere. I don't leave this street.
Have you ever been to Sri Lanka, Adam?
Actually, my ex-girlfriend is from Sri Lanka.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
She like the
And
news
I have
thing?
been to Thailand. Thailand is about, I don't know.
Is that your place?
What,
Thailand.
Thailand.
I would say it's top notch, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Just because I know so much about it.
Sell me on it. Give me the elevator pitch on Thailand.
Why would I want to go there?
Because the biggest expense of your whole trip is going to be the plane ticket. And once you get there, the transportation system is very well.
They got Ubers out there.
And he's also been to Thailand as well. And
Where are your parents from?
as
Ted?
far
Where's
My
your
dad's from Thailand.
where's your
Is
mom
that right?
from? Your mom,
Fort Wayne.
your mom. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I should know this. I should know this
as
right
far as your living accommodations and your food accommodations, it's actually far less than Fort Wayne. Like if you were to go to Thailand, which seems like it's going to be a crazy trip, you're probably going to spend the same exact amount in Fort Wayne within a month. Would you agree?
If you spend a month in Thailand, it'd be the same as spending a month in Fort Wayne.
That's a good
Yeah.
sell.
But that's the
That's-
same amount of
It's
money.
a great sell.
It's inexpensive, but also
To
Thailand is like over 2,000 years old, and you see things that you don't normally see that are really old, and it's kind of
Throwback.
you can't just talk about it. You just have to experience it. It's
It
different.
says it's a third world country.
Let the
I
iPhone
spent
do
about
the
4
talking.
months of my life in Thailand.
It's a developing country. There's no third world anymore, Adam.
Show a little bit of respect at least.
There's the developing world.
Just because they don't have the new iPhone.
Have you
10
been
don't
there,
mean they're
Ian?
third
I'm
world,
about
Adam.
to flex on you. Have you been there?
No, I'm just
look at
Well,
his
just
face.
so where you been?
I'm just talking about.
Where you
it's a
been?
semantic
Where you
thing.
been?
It's like we think
Where-
that
Well, in
Africa's-
Indiana.
Ian.
In Indiana.
No, the farthest you've been.
The farthest I've been, like, how far is Roanoke from here?
Hey,
You
I'm
need
with,
to
I'm
calm
with you.
down
I'm
with
with you.
questions like that.
But third world's kind of like where they don't have electricity.
Calm
Third world's
down.
like
Well,
dirt
yeah.
floors.
No, this is the political science guy coming out at me, like.
Okay,
And then
get in his head then.
Yeah, in the
Here he goes.
in
Break
the,
them down. or
In the
something.
science of it, we don't refer to it as third, second, and first world. The second world fell in 1991, Soviet Union. So there's.
So there's no second.
We're getting way into technical terms.
This is
here.
interesting. So what's
So I mean, when it comes down
so
to
what's
it,
third then?
Okay. From Fort. Okay.
Is there
from,
fourth
From
world?
Fort Wayne
Fort Wayne.
to Bangkok, Thailand.
Yeah.
You're not saying it's not a 50% difference.
Wait, what?
Like
Of
it's
course it's
it's
gonna be
totally
different.
flip flop.
It's a cultural difference.
Well,
not-
yeah, one's east and one's west.
That's probably about as far away as
Josh
you can get.
Gordy, shout out.
When I think of third world, I think of something that's
Kathleen,
like
what up?
catastrophically different
Yeah.
than what you're used to.
Jessica, the high
okay.
five,
We have different
Jessica.
definitions.
So what's your definition?
It doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be derogatory with it.
I think it feels
But
like a
I'm
real
just trying
third
to
world.
I'm trying to tell people that it's going to be a really good experience for you.
Oh, I think it'd
And-
be fun.
And also the language barrier isn't very bad at all.
a lot,
but you
of, lot
will-
of tourists.
Lot of
Most people in
tourists, yeah.
Thailand speak or understand English.
All you need is you need to know toilet.
Do they say
chicken.
finna?
Chicken,
Chicken.
chicken
You're
and
not
toilets.
safe,
All you
huh?
need to know. Huh?
Boy,
Chicken
that's
and
Spanish.
toilet?
Huh?
Is it, well, how you say chicken in Taiwanese? Is that how
It's
you
a
say?
different country.
Is that how you
Yeah.
say it?
That's
Taiwanese?
Taiwan and Thailand.
All you have to say is
I'm looking at
chicken.
Ted like, is that the right way to say it?
all you,
Taiwanese?
You just say chicken.
Say I
That's
want
it?
some chicken.
Oh, there's no
they
like.
know
there's-
what you're saying.
I mean, like, but is there another way to say it? There has to be.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'd be the guy trying to say it the other way just because, just to get on somebody's nerves.
They'll just be like,
Like-
why does this guy not just say
Like-
chicken? Kinda loud.
I'm like, I don't know what it.
Do you say gracias at the Mexican restaurant?
Well, I'm not there though. You know what I mean? But if I was in another country, I would just throw out all kinds of bad English.
I think
Whatever,
people enjoy
you know
you
what I mean?
trying to learn their language.
They would hate it.
Give it a shot.
Like I'm
Other
speaking
way.
English to you, man. I'm like, I don't want to even like pretend to know.
You know,
I don't know if you'd even come to that situation.
I wouldn't even be there for one, but
You get an oil change when you go to Indianapolis.
yeah, I do.
You don't need one
I
to go
take
to
care
Thailand.
of my cars.
An oil change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
true. I
can't
know.
drive there.
Fly there.
Yeah.
They have Ubers.
Well, that's what I'm saying to him.
Is there cars there? Is there cars in Thai?
Oh man, they got the craziest taxis
Yeah.
there.
Since it's third world, I imagine no
You'll be
electricity,
afraid
no
for your life on a
No,
taxi in
it's
Thailand.
Really?
Oh,
they're
yeah.
tuk-tuks.
You can get in a tuk-tuk, which is like a
that's an
souped-up
R-
golf cart
It's an R.
essentially.
Kelly song. Give me that toot,
Yeah,
right?
that's what he's
No.
singing about.
I figured.
Who would have thunk?
Or you can get on the back
Thailand.
of a super bike.
A super bike.
I think I seen.
Yeah, get on the back of like a Hayabusa and be like, "Get me there quick, and I'll give you $5 extra."
On the show Top Gear, I think they're doing one of those cross country episodes. They may have been in Thailand. I don't know. They're on some highway with no lights. People are going all over the streets
It's insane. The
With, like-
driving is insane.
with
there.
like goats and cows and stuff.
Are we allowed to wave to all 4 of these people?
Yeah, shout them out. Yo,
I think Donovan's mom's watching where she was at one
Hey,
point.
Mom.
Hey,
my
Mom.
mom was watching too. Shout out Todd Mazzico. We need to get him back on. We need to get some repeats in here. That'd be cool.
Any other questions, or is this?
I do have a.
What's up, Kathleen?
I have so many questions in my head.
We're gonna play a track.
Oh, cool.
No, we're not gonna play a track. Who cares?
Play 30 seconds of a track. Adam,
Rave Talk is falling apart.
rave talk. What do you want to hear it?
Because no one wants to listen to it.
You guys ever been to a rave?
A rave.
You guys like electronic music? That's what I.
Yeah.
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 Well,
We can go for a little bit of
viewers.
anything.
Scudda. This is a new track. Scudda.
What do you got? As long as it's a crunchy jam.
This one's a banger. This is a new track.
Crunchy jam. And I'm
Never heard
good.
that term, but we'll be back on 95.7 Rave Talk.
Crunchy.
Crown, we lay 'em down. Down. Down.
Shout out, Scudda. A new duo. New duo in town. Scudda. Crunchy. Wendy says crunchy. Julie. Shout out Julie. I can play it. I'll play your Ian track actually. I'm giving these news guys a hard time. 'Cause I don't watch the news. I don't believe in it. I do believe it. I'm joking. It's crunchy. Alright, Adam's not even back. Turn his mic down. Turn your mics up. You guys back?
Yo.
Are we
Hey,
back?
can you hear me?
You guys
Can you hear
rappers? You guys know how to rap?
Rap.
You guys want to
Oh.
freestyle on a beat?
Oh no,
I mean, I leave it up to him on that.
I don't rap.
Rap.
I don't trap.
You know what
I
his
don't
rap? You know what
rap.
his rap name is? His artist name?
What's his artist name?
Ian.
Ian.
I thought it was
Fair
fun.
enough.
Fair
Lil,
enough.
Lil Ian.
Little E, Big
Lil
E.
Ian.
If you're good enough, you don't have to church it up. You can
She-
just be
she-
who you are.
She's digging this track. I like this track too. See, local producers make these tracks. They're really.
Yeah, I
Really
like local
clean cut.
music.
My goal, my idea was to get all the producers in Fort Wayne just to come through the station, talk about music. You know what I mean? This is cool too. Switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Because he hates music. Adam hates music, which is that's how we met. Started DJing together. Then he quit DJing.
Because he
definitely,
hates
yeah.
music.
Well, I've
He-
seen what he plays.
He
with
hates
Metal
music
City.
and art and joy.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
paintings.
Yeah, he hates
He
all
hates
that.
children.
Mm-hmm.
Hates
Older
pets.
people.
He hates old people. Oh man, I saw him
Don't
beat
get him
up.
started.
Yeah,
Don't get him started.
That's terrible.
yeah, it is.
Kick a cane.
He's a real awful,
It's horrible.
terrible person.
Shout out Joe.
I have a question about news. So I haven't really paid much attention to.
Are you like me?
What?
Are you like me where you don't watch?
I actually enjoy the news. I really do.
Dude,
I don't watch as much as I used to.
I
just
turn it off when I go
There's
to my grandma's
so
house.
many media sources now, but with the rise of the term fake news,
Yeah.
have you guys encountered anything where you were just like, that is
Yo.
absolute
It's a good
Oh, like-
question.
Kind of like your rivals station.
Like,
they're totally blowing
Just
something up.
different
more,
outlets.
It's more like Facebook meme stuff that
Yeah.
gets shared around, and
Gets
I mean, there's a good
more
web-
attention than it should.
there's a really great website called Snopes.com that they're dedicated to debunking like these
Okay.
fake articles that are shared around. And this is like a really quick example. There's like a post going around that was like it was claiming that like Che Guevara was like murdering these people in the photo, and somebody like sourced the photo, and it was like taken 10 years after he died.
Really?
no man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like stuff like that.
With Photoshop and like the internet, anybody
Well, no,
can say
it's just
anything.
like it was just the back of a guy's head, and it's like, oh, this is this guy.
Oh yeah, just like
But,
a
like-
random, just blatant lie, just like.
Well,
quick
yeah,
lie.
just people like making these fake memes to just like try to prove a point.
Yeah,
Like,
they
instead
want
of just like
attention.
writing a post on Facebook, people are like, "Hey, this meme already is in line with what I politically believe, so I'm going to share it." And so a lot of those things are not real. So just be careful
And,
when
Yeah.
you're sharing.
and currently, like, there are a lot of people who are against the media right now. So it is up to us more than ever to be as careful and as accurate as possible too. So, you know, when there is the whole fake news thing or a distrust in the media,
Yeah.
that's when we have to be on our game the most.
'Cause
to
there's
be
so much-
as factually correct as we possibly.
And another
can.
thing to be careful of too is we were just at a seminar last Saturday where
Yeah.
they showed us that like how a person just can go onto Google, they can go to like a fake tweet generator, and they can like type in like what our Twitter handle is, and they can make a post look like we tweeted it,
Really?
snapshot it, and then share it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's crazy.
just like, and that's another thing to be careful. Like they can do that with CNN or anybody. So
Or Dewan Porter.
yeah.
so if you see something
absolutely.
like snap or like screenshotted it and shared, go to that station or whoever they're
Maybe-
claiming is saying it. Go to their actual page. to
Maybe
make
we
sure
should
they're
do
actually
that.
saying it.
Yeah.
with our next mixtape release, Fox News said this mixtape was the dopest
Fire,
tape
yeah.
ever, firest tape
It's-
of all
And it's
So-
time.
it's very easy to believe the first thing that you see and make that snap judgment like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
So it's, you know, we can only do so much. It's kind of up to the consumer to also do a little bit of digging for themselves to you know, you should question everything that you see.
right.
Make sure it's right. Do it on your terms too. So
Do you question the information that you're given by the people you work with? I mean,
Oh,
have,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, how does that work?
Have you ever encountered something that was put on the local news station that you were like, I wonder about this?
They got
and
the wrong copy of the paperwork.
look it up, maybe
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean-
there are mistakes that
Yeah,
are made,
mistakes.
and which is why you have to
Shout out Sean.
be as
Make good coffee.
as
Thank you.
as diligent as you can be and double checking those and not blindly trusting it. You have to vet certain things
Yeah, I know that.
because it does
Personally, I
happen.
don't completely believe anything unless I experience it personally.
Yeah,
And how far do you go in finding a source? Like, how far deep do you research
There's
something
so much
you were
coming in so
told?
fast. You guys are 24 hours. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you? Like you said, how do you?
Or do you just trust what you're told because that's your job?
well, I mean, the main thing
Yeah,
too
no.
is a lot of stories are told by other people.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is attributing what somebody else says.
Mhm.
So we're not just saying that this is what it is. We're saying this person is saying this right now.
Okay.
This person's saying that. We're hearing this from this person.
Okay, it's kind of a way to like kind of cover yourselves in a way.
Well,
it's
it's not just that. It's just
it's how it's told. That's how it's told. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's the
I
way
mean,
it should
I mean,
be.
that's what
It's just
or
ethics.
reporting's. I mean, it's just in the root word. It's just reporting what people are saying. So
Yeah.
you have to attribute it because it's not me, the reporter, saying it.
Mhm.
It's Joe I talked to on the street or the officer I talked to. Or,
I'm telling you that this person said this.
yeah,
You guys ever
So-
been in any dangerous situations?
What's that?
Well, you're not really out there in the field. Or nothing.
yeah.
Occasionally.
I mean,
Somebody were like, "You shouldn't be
Every
there."
once in a while, I've been out twice. I think you've been out a couple times,
Yeah.
more than I have.
Did you see that one where that lady, people are looting at CVS or Walgreens, and that lady's like, "Hey, you're stealing." Did you see that post? You guys big on Instagram at all? It's some people are looting a store. This lady's like running up to people who are stealing stuff, and I'm like thinking like, "Hey, probably shouldn't be there in that situation." You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a dangerous situation.
She's trying to interview looters as
yeah,
they're
it's like-
looting.
yeah, exactly. It's like, you're stealing, right?
Yeah.
They're like running away. They're like, yeah, okay, like covering their faces.
Part of me, I mean, it's kind of part of the job for
Yeah,
a
yeah.
reporter. You're
She's
gonna
in the
be
mix.
yeah, I mean, we have to be like, I think one thing we get criticized is on a scene, a reporter is going up to people and asking them for interviews. I was talking about it like what I do on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why we do that is right when something happens, you need to be talking to people, because the further out you get,
Yeah.
time-wise, from that event
They're
taking
gonna forget
place, the
about it.
more the story changes. So really, to get the most accurate information, you have to ask right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that can come across as being insensitive, but we're really just trying to get the most accurate story.
Right.
We don't want people going home and saying like, "Oh man, I really shouldn't say that tomorrow when I have my interview."
Yeah.
So, segue to that. Would you say that there's any part of the media that does hurt the community?
Not sure what you're
Like,
trying to ask there.
Basically, like, as far as the information that's come across and produced to the community, do you think it hurts it all, or do you think it just educates them?
I think the more people know, the better. Honestly.
So you don't think it hurts it at all?
I think it's
or-
the opposite. The less you know, the better you are.
The less you know.
Ignorance
But
is bliss.
but
Yeah, it's
but,
me. I just don't know.
I mean,
I'm
do
pretty
you
ignorant
think
about
any
things.
of it hurts it?
Like, give us an example of
Yeah.
like a story that might hurt it.
I don't know. That's pretty tough.
I would say that like I'm not saying anybody's doing.
I know.
I'm not saying anybody's
it's
doing
a tough
this right
question
now.
on
But like,
both parts.
if you would sensationalize, say, a very routine like restaurant checkup, and they had a couple problems, and if you
Ooh.
sensationalize that and make it seem like this place was just a failing, miserable mess, you could hurt somebody's like business or
Yeah.
something.
Right.
The way I
That could
look
be
at
bad.
it is
true.
how
That's a good example.
R.I.P.
How
R.I.P.
glo-
to Hunan House. They got shut down.
Yeah, so
The
you got to
way-
be responsible with
the way I look at it is
stuff
how
like that.
globally, obviously nationally, that like something like Columbine was captured. There's a lot of people that mimic it.
Yeah.
That could be
Oh,
definitely a situation that
Yeah.
could be negative when it comes to the media. Do you agree with that?
That's not
a very
really-
good point.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a
Shout out,
mimic
Jess.
thing. I mean, I think everybody's always struggling to figure out why like certain things are happening, and they try to, put it on the most something that seems obvious. I mean, violent video games have been blamed forever, and there's been studies and studies and studies and studies,
absolutely.
and people still think that it causes something. But
I think it's
another-
people who don't play. I'm a big game
yeah, I mean,
fan. People who don't know.
I think
it's
people
like-
are always looking to prescribe blame to something. I think sometimes the media gets blamed for stuff. Not saying that we're always altruistic and the greatest thing ever, but I think most of the profession's filled with people trying to do a just
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, it's up to the people to do what they want with it. I suppose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I'm telling you this. Do what you want with it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And there are times when you do try to do the right thing and it backfires. There are times when media in general does get it wrong,
Yeah.
and mistakes can happen. Those are usually what people focus on the most. You can have 99 stories where you're completely accurate. Everybody's going to talk about the one time that you
Yep,
slip up,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is why you have to be
Like the weather.
Just like any
So
other
diligent.
profession.
Um,
It's
I-
just
true.
everybody.
Yeah,
yeah.
Everybody's.
everybody can relate to
I do
that.
think one weird thing I've seen in the profession is when we correct something, we try to like bury our corrections sometimes.
Yeah.
I would definitely criticize this business for that.
Yeah.
I think if you're forced to correct something, it should be a kind of a big deal. I think it's kind of almost a proof of your performance as a responsible journalist to say, hey, I was wrong about something.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people are like, "Oh, well, that might hurt our reputation." I'm like, or it could help it because
Could
you're,
help. You're being real.
Yeah,
You're being
so,
real. Being honest.
Is there a cat?
Once it's happened, it's like it's hard to.
yeah, I definitely
reverse
think
that.
I definitely think burying corrections is I've seen it a lot. Not everybody buries them.
Is there a category of journalism that you think that is misinterpreted the most?
Oh,
What? What does that mean?
He knows
yeah,
what
I'm trying
talking
to
about.
think. Well, I'm trying to think of like.
What does that even mean?
What does that mean?
I would probably say like right now
I'm trying to use big words, Adam.
with the with like cable
Give me a
cable
headache.
news, cable like talk shows. I mean, the actual reporting on most of those stations, the actual news programs are pretty solid. I think people think that
Usually
Some of the-
when it's
some of
like,
the
when it's,
talking
when it's like
heads.
set in stone, that's when like the mass
I think it's
media
like- I think it's,
really gets incorporated.
It's the magazine shows that are opinion pieces. They're editorials,
Like the
and
whole-
I think
like-
people
like-
see that's news,
right.
but it's really it's an opinion piece in a news magazine television type show format. That
like the
isn't
whole
necessarily
the whole
news.
Brett thing and the groping thing and all that stuff. I mean,
You talking Kavanaugh?
Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
What's his first?
Did you watch any of the
That his
hearing
first
today?
name?
I
Brett.
did watch.
That's what you
it.
should ask your people out there. Any of you guys watch this? That's a big hot topic around the country today.
Shout out
we try
Justin.
to get people to call in, but we only get people like our friends, and they come in, they talk like they aren't them. So
I see a popular
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
is for people to say hi,
Shout out Jess.
just a hi.
Sell me
Like,
a house. He's selling
yeah.
houses. Might be able to sell you a crib, Adam.
yeah. So we've been getting pretty deep with this conversation.
So, what's your favorite thing about? No.
What's your favorite thing about
Is
news?
there anything that you
Five fork
dislike?
time.
You just want us to give
let's
different-
talk about who's on. Let's talk about your questions.
Yeah.
What's the favorite show you've been at?
I'm
what
just
kind,
saying.
what kind of equipment do you have?
Yeah, what kind of
Maybe
equipment you
I'm
guys
trying to
use?
get being more intuitive. Oh,
equipment?
intuitive. You might need to Google that one.
Okay, Mister. Okay,
Like,
all right.
do,
okay.
do you know what that word means?
Can't spell Google, so we're not gonna get there. All right. How do you spell Google?
How do you interpretatify?
I'm really just trying. I'm trying to get from their introspective or their.
Perspective.
My bad. Yeah.
That could questions make no sense.
Yeah,
to me.
we're struggling. Over there,
I'm
aren't we?
struggling. I'm struggling.
See, they're struggling too. I just saw his
My
face
favorite
and went off
equipment. I have my favorite equipment is a knife and fork.
No, I was mimicking him
just saying.
about the same questions he asks everybody.
that. You ask the same questions every time. You ask the
No, I
same
do
question
not.
today 3 or 4 times. I'm asking about Anchorman. That's kind of funny. I'm curious about that. Is that a
Anchorman?
real thing?
Yep.
Okay, I'm coming out of
that
left.
was
Coming
that
out
was
of
like
left field.
so.
Ted, get in here. Ted, get in
Alright.
here.
He said
You guys-
I asked him about Anchorman.
I'm not
We're,
asking.
we're going after the knife and fork.
Let's go for it.
What's the best barbecue joint in Fort Wayne?
Best
Barbecue.
barbecue.
Jigs and Pits.
What
That's the only
is-
one I really know.
What? I mean,
Is there
How many
better?
barbecue joints
There's
are
like
there? in
two.
Fort
There's a
Wayne?
handful.
I'm
I
not
haven't
I'm
eaten
not
a whole lot of
barbecue.
barbecue in Fort
Okay,
Wayne.
alright.
I'll tell you what we
we'll
ate.
broaden
We
the
stayed at this
scope.
Great
Yeah, we had
place,
a
man,
really
before we came
quaint-
here.
Little Bird and Cleaver just opened.
Have you been there?
Had dinner
I've heard of
together.
that.
I went there.
Wells.
I was there on
Shout out to them.
Saturday.
That place was
Yeah,
amazing.
it was a really good meal.
My girl's a vegetarian, so I
It's
can't
really
really
neat.
Oh, it's
like
mostly vegan, but there's meat.
Is it?
There's meat there
Yeah.
too.
Really?
Well, I ordered a. It was called a hillbilly fondue, and I didn't even realize there wasn't cheese in it until he said something about
Yeah.
it. It was really good.
Fondue's
I
a
had
lot of
the
cheese usually.
meatloaf sandwich,
Yeah, it is
That's what I-
chicken
that's what I
sandwich.
had today.
Yeah.
It's like,
pretty good, and
like,
it's not-
It's like being in your grandmother's house if it was just a lot.
Julie has a
Cooler.
question for
Hipper.
us. She asks, "How do you decide what news is covered?" Ooh, that's like what I do for a living.
There you go.
So you pick and choose. You're like,
there you
no,
go.
yes,
I don't know.
yes,
so
no.
much of it's probably instinctual. I think at this point, I think I've been there 5 years. Just think I have a good feel for what people are interested in.
Yeah. You go for ratings, or you go for like
No,
Or
there.
you go
All
for,
right, so
like,
there's
something that
in
needs to be
news. There's
out.
always a tug between what people want to know and what people ought to know, and I always think the best stories kind of fall in the middle of that. What's the word for it?
huh?
Paradigm.
Paradigm.
Okay.
Okay.
So you know what somebody ought, sometimes what people ought to know is boring, and sometimes what people want to know is that some lost dog was returned.
Yeah.
Not necessarily important, but
You have to
those
sort of
stories can
find
be cues.
Yeah.
You have to sort of find the
Heartwarming.
balance because
Yeah.
it's your duty to make sure
I-
people know
I
what they
think
need
the
to know.
the
Right.
best story I've seen in the last year, and he's not going to like this because it wasn't on his channel, was Public School Payroll. It was a series that we did back in May.
That was a great story.
And it really falls in between there because it was a story about public school administrators making too much money, or
Okay.
compared to the
See,
everybody-
that's something I would be like.
and compared to everybody else in the state, and it was a comparison between foreign community schools and every other district in the state.
Okay.
That falls in the people want to know stuff like
Do
that.
people try to stop you from posting or like talking about that
there,
kind of thing?
There was some like inner turmoil.
There's
but-
money
but
involved.
and what I was talking about, people ought to know because it's their tax money.
Yeah.
So people want to know if somebody's, because there's a little scandalous like, oh, they're making too much money, but it is also their tax dollars. I think that just falls perfectly, and it was probably one of the I mean, I would go out to dinner and I'd hear people talking.
How
about
long
that
ago was
story.
this?
It was back in May.
Okay, so it's pretty
Yeah.
okay. You guys got any final shout outs? Ours done and done.
It's done.
Done.
I have
and
one
done.
more quick question.
All right,
Yeah.
go for it.
What if a couple guys were having a local event and wanted some news coverage? How would we
Slip
go
your
about?
$20 bill. Like,
No,
hey.
I would, I'd get a nice professional press release together. I would send it to newsroom@wpta21.com.
Sweet.
Okay.
That's where all of our news tips need to go.
Can you remember
Just
this?
get their phone numbers.
And
Yeah, we're recording it. It's going to be on your
And,
podcast.
You're right. Yeah.
And
Shout out to Rave Talk Podcast.
send it to us. I've never guaranteed anybody coverage before.
Any tips
So,
on something that might get us in?
I would keep it
Something charitable.
well, yeah. If it's for profit,
If
we're
you're-
definitely going to be like, this guy's
Yeah.
just wanting us to give him a commercial so he can
Yeah,
make some
if
money.
you're, I mean, if
So,
you're benefiting
fundraiser,
yourself,
yeah.
or not yourself, but others, and area you live in, or it's a great cause, then it's definitely worth us taking a look at.
Cool.
All right, any final shout outs?
Yeah. No, that's
Final shout
thanks for
Thanks for
tuning
having us,
in,
fellas.
Shout
well,
out to
yeah, you guys too. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Adam.
Shout out to Red
Shout out.
and the Crunchy Jams.
You should play more music, Dwan.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Exactly,
God.
exactly.
Encourage
talk about some
up.
gear.
I played music and he said the views went up.
The viewers
Yeah.
up by like.
Well, I think
5.
actually Adam walked out of the room to go to
Yeah,
the restroom,
right, finally.
Oh, yeah, that's-
and they're like, "Oh, geez."
No, I walk out of the restroom and the questions stop. All the good questions stop.
Good questions. There's no such thing as a bad question. All right, thanks for
about
stopping in, fellas.
What type of khakis do you wear?
Yeah, what kind of khakis do you wear? Those Dickies?
No, it's
Those aren't
H&M.
Dickies.
No, that's what I'm wearing.
Yeah. You wearing Dickies?
No, H&M.
Oh,
Dickies.
thanks for stopping by.
You want to do the cowbell?
Bye, people.